us look at the second stanza, okay? It says here, strofe 2 gaan oor hoe hy vir veranderde mense lyk, okay? Stanza 2 goes on about how he appears to other people, okay? It says here, tussen die diere in 'n hoek, het hy die eensaamheid gesoek, okay? Among the animals in the cage, he looks for solitude, okay? Oh, this is a funny looking clown. So he's looking for solitude among the animal, but why, guys? Because animals do not judge. Animals don't judge. Animals don't say, hey, look at that one, he has a funny leg, he has a funny ear. Animals don't do that, okay? Now, it says here, om weg te kom van die mense se gespot, het hy na die diere se hoeke gegaan waar hy alleen kon wees, okay? So to get away from people's mockeries, he went to the animal cage where he could be alone. Shame, guys. You know, it got to a point where he's like, you know what, I don't need human beings, I need to be with the animals. These things will not judge me, okay? They're better than humans after all. It says here, hy het een kans oor alleen in 'n hoek tussen die diere gaan sit, okay? Hy het daar weggekruip. Hy het verkies om sy tyd eerder tussen die diere te spandeer as tussen mense, okay? So he sat down, you know, alone with the animals, you know, in the corner. You know, he went there to hide, okay? Hy het daar weggekruip, okay? He went there to hide. And he also prefers to spend time among the animals rather than among people, guys, because people are very ugly with their words, okay? It says here, die absolute eensaamheid of alleenheid van die Hanswors se bestaan word beklemtoon deur te beskryf hoe hy homself eenkam hou of afsonder deur tussen die diere hoeke te gaan sit. Okay? So, the animals were probably his only friends in the circus, and animals cannot hurt people with words. Okay? Animals cannot hurt people with words. Okay? Not only that, so the absolute loneliness and aloneness of the clown's existence, it is emphasized by how he can keep himself to himself, like he's isolating himself, he's sitting between the animals, okay? And it says, yeah, die diere was waarskynlik sy enigste vriende in die circus, okay? So like the animals were probably his only friends in the circus. And it also says, diere kan mens nie met woorde seermaak nie, okay? So animals cannot hurt people with their words, okay? It also says, yeah, diere aanvaar 'n mens soos jy is, of verwerp hom nie, okay? So animals do not accept a person as they are. Okay, so animals accept the person as they are, and they don't reject them, okay? So if you look at the double punt in line 6, this over here, the colon in line 6, it is there to tell us that direct speech is following, okay? Somebody's direct word, okay? Die direkte woorde van sy collega's volg in reël 7 en 8, okay? So, direct words of the colleagues will follow from line 7 to 8. Let us go to line 7 and 8. It says here, my klere wat gedurende haar is. Wat doen die vent met sy salaris, okay? Guys, the word vent is so, it's a derogatory, okay? You can't call someone a wretch, okay? That is so mean, okay? So they're saying with clothes that are always torn, what does the wretch do with his salary, okay? It looks like his clothes are always bad, okay? His clothes are always done for. He doesn't look presentable, okay? It says here, sy klere was gedaan, of stikkend, of oud, of verslete, okay? That's why they're using the word gaar, okay? So his clothes were always like worn out, or broken, okay? Or worn, okay? That's why they're using the word gaar, okay? Hy like sleg en skep 'n armoedige indruk, so he looks very bad, and it creates that very poor impression of him, okay? So, let us look at die herhaling van die G klank, okay? So the repetition of the G sound, okay? So that is an alliteration. Here's the G, okay? So it is there to emphasize how bad he look, okay? Beklemtoon hoe sleg hy lyk, okay? And look at this, gedierig, okay? Gedierig, like constantly he keeps on, okay? It's telling us that, you know, it's something that's regular, gereeld, or, you know, it's something that usually happens, gewoonlik, or it's always, altyd, okay? It's something that is common. And also in line 8, look here, what does the rich do with his salary? Question mark, that is a rhetorical question, okay? Pretorious vraag in reël 8, okay? It's a rhetorical question, and it's telling us what a rhetorical question is. We all know, guys, it's a question that doesn't require an answer, okay? So the reason why it's being used, okay, let us look at the function. Okay, dit betrek die leser by die gedig en laat jou dink, okay? So it involves the reader, and it makes you think like, what does he actually do with his salary? I'm curious, because you can't be looking broke all the time while you're being paid, okay? Die Pretorious vraag, okay? There's a rhetorical question from lines 7 to 8 and lines 12, beklemtoon die harteloosheid van die Hanswors se kollegas, okay? So that rhetorical question emphasizes the heartlessness of the clown's colleagues, okay? Very, very bad people. Cool. It says here, why, guys? First, why are they asking him what is he doing with his salary? It is because his clothes are always worn out, okay? Omdat sy klere so gedaan is, or skinder of wonder die mense of sy collega's, oor wat die man met die geld of salaris wat hy by die circus verdien doen, okay? So, you know, people or his colleagues gossip, or they wonder, what does this man do with his salary money that he earns from the circus? Because your clothes can't be looking like, I don't know what, okay? Dit suggereer dat hy nooit geld gehad het nie, okay? It also suggests that he never had money, okay? It says here, die aanhalings in vers 7 en 8 is die mense of sy collega's wat oor hom skinder, okay? So, the quote in line 7 to 8 is people or his colleagues who are gossiping about him. Look at this quotation mark, they're like, hey, what does he do with his salary? He always looks broke, okay? Cool. It says here, as dat sy collega's regtig so gepla het, kon hulle hom net gevra het. Okay, so if it really bothers his colleagues that much, they could have just asked him, guys, you can't just jump into conclusion, hey, do you not get paid? Why this? Why that? Okay? It's not right. Tell me, come talk to me, ask me, hey, what do you do with your salary? Like, do you need extra money? Okay, that would be very helpful rather than having you like, badmouth me, okay? So it says hier, die feit dat hulle hom 'n vent noem, dui ook op die mense se ongevoeligheid en hoor hom of sien hom as agterlik of dink min van hom. Okay? So guys, the fact that they're calling him a wretch, okay, it also indicates people's insensitivity towards him, or they probably see him as backwards, like retarded, or they think little of him. So rude, okay? And vent is 'n negatiewe woord, okay? So vent is a very negative word.